Having discussed why it's important to fix being tired before trying to change your life, here is my modern day burnout screening designed in 3 simple steps. These are the 3 signs that you should be looking for to understand if you're in a state of burnout. Be mindful that these symptoms might indicate other health issues. It's just important for you to check, and if you do, seek professional support. The first sign that I'd like to point out is you find yourself agonizing over very small decisions. What to wear, what to eat for dinner, where to go, to the point of freezing. You might be faced with what psychologists call decision fatigue, which in its worst form can lead to decisional paralysis. This happens because your executive function of the brain is so depleted that turns all trivial matters into tasks that feel like survival. The second sign I chose is when you're exhausted the entire day and then finally your head hits the pillow, and instead of winding down, your brain starts to fire racing, anxious thoughts. You might call that insomnia, but the doctors call this dysregulated HPA axis, which refers to your brain producing spikes of cortisol at the moment of the day when it should actually wind them down. So if you're going to sleep feeling super tired, ready to sleep, and you cannot, then maybe you should look more into other signs of burnout. The third sign that I picked that hits quite close to the entire purpose of this channel is what specialists call prosocial anhedonia. A very fancy name, but it all refers to you losing pleasure in social connection. In practice, this can look like you stop wanting the people you love around. It doesn't have to look dramatic. You will still enjoy watching a show on your own, feeling like it's not that serious, that you just want a bit of time for yourself. But then the moment you start missing someone, the action of reaching out feels like such a huge expense to your brain that you end up not doing it. This is just a simple burnout screening. The most important thing to do and to adopt into your lifestyle is to always ask yourself at the end of the day, how am I feeling? How am I actually feeling? What are the emotions? And name them. The moment you notice changes in your own behavior that are impacting the way in which you lead your day-to-day life, or how you connect with others, or how certain actions that used to feel easy suddenly feel like insurmountable chores, then it's time to look more deeply into this, and why not seek professional help. What I'm gonna do in terms of practical solutions is not to repeat the typical advice you find out there, but to explain exactly how I turn the 3 fundamental needs of your body into actionable behaviors. We're going to look at sleep, water, and movement. It's probably one of the most popular consensus out there that sleep is the one most important thing you need for your body to be healthy. And whereas I cannot call myself a role model student in sleep practices, what helped me to improve my sleep was deciding on a cutoff time to go to sleep. I know that it's not realistic to go to sleep before 10 p.m. with everything that I want to achieve, but even like that, midnight is usually my cutoff time. Like Cinderella, if I don't go out, that's gonna be the time where I want to sleep. And if you're sacrificing your sleep hours, either out of necessity or in the name of a dream, just be aware of the cost of losing this sleep and of the impact of sleep deprivation on your body. For every hour of lost sleep, ask yourself, is it actually worth it? If you can actually be in bed at your desired time, there are all sorts of tips you can implement to improve your sleep. My favorite one is to keep a stack of books by the bed, such that I'm more tempted to read for half an hour before sleep than scroll through my phone, because blue light is what stops the production of melatonin, and you need that to fall asleep. Now, let's quickly talk about water, because we all know how important it is to hydrate ourselves, and everyone forgets it to the point of us having to invent all sorts of apps and methods to make ourselves remember we need to drink water. We need to replenish the most important part of what our bodies are made of. In terms of water consumption, I stopped relying on willpower alone. And I've implemented two very easy habits. Number one, I bought myself a 1 liter water bottle that's gonna be filled every day in the morning. It's gonna be on my desk. It has the time of the days marked on its glass, such that I know at different points of the day where I am in the process of drinking my water. The second easiest habit you can implement is always having a bottle of water next to your bed, such that the first thing you do when you get down is drink water. Make sure you do this before drinking any caffeine, because when you're waking up, for the first 1 hour and a half, your body is still clearing up adenosine and raising your cortisol levels to make you alert for the day. By drinking caffeine before that, you stop this process and interfere with the very process of you becoming more alert. So it's just counterproductive. And I think the easiest way to build better habits of remembering to drink water is to find your own reason behind this habit. It can be for beauty reasons, or for sports, or for health. Whatever reason you pick, as long as it reminds you to drink water, it's good enough. The same applies to building a habit around working out and around having an active lifestyle. I'm not going to get into the details of why it's important to be active. The mentality I have about working out is backed by a belief that being an active, strong person is the one thing that will keep me moving forward in life when everything else gets messy. It's also a preoccupation with how I want to live this life as a healthy person who's going to enjoy this life as long as possible in the best health as possible. None of these rules are to be implemented directly in your life, but I think it's important to see what works for you. But before you go chase your motivation, your ambition, your sense of direction, you need to start by checking the boring stuff first. Sleep, water, movement, and rest. Rest that doesn't have guilt in it. Even 1 day of good rest, 1 day of good sleep, a good meal, a simple walk in the park, one good cry if that's what helps you take it out. Once you've done that, once you've went through the basic screening, then we can move on to the next step. Here's the part I think you'll find interesting. The next step is still not about what you can do more. It's about what others could do for you. Remember the third sign of burnout, the one where you stop wanting the people you love around you? Once your body has enough fuel to want connection again, the real question is, will you reach out for it? And that's in episode 2. See you next week.